Welcome everyone. Power Thinking, rejuvenating your amazing mind training for this day. It is the 8th of April, tax day, and this is our 9 Eastern Time edition. I was after saying tax day, and one of my in-laws, my daughter-in-law, has a birthday, so her birthday is tax day every year. We get a Zoom together with our folks in Michigan, folks in California, and then in New Jersey. So it's always good to connect. Consider birthdays in your family. Get a Zoom and everybody connects, and and then get times we found that music business in LA, grandson in Michigan that went to K-pop birthday, a K-pop concert. Some of the K-pop artists, my son, his wife and daughter-in-law, business with. So you find out little things. So keep the family connected. It's all about connection. I am so excited to do that every week. It's on helping build these essential skills of resilience. We're ready. No matter what happens, all kinds of things happening in the world that stop. The thing that may be going on that is taking up time and our thoughts, and dominating our airwaves and media. While that may be, whether it's a natural disaster or another conflict or war going back and forth, leaders where some leaders may have not the greatest emotion regulation or impulse control, measured responses to all kinds of other things, close loved ones who may have health, financial issues. There are all kinds of things that we're going to be hit with. Life is just a series of ups and downs. The question is, when we hit the downs, it's not going to be if, but when we hit the downs, that moves us forward as opposed to moving us backwards. So this is about building essential skills, and by plugging in to what we're doing each week, you're taking a step towards building these absolutely essential skills. So our job is to help you retrain your brain. And my hope is that you are taking advantage of the app, at its tremendous breakthrough pricing, free trial. I was on a call this evening, a person that had the app, and they said absolutely love it. And so hopefully many of you who have the app, you are enjoying it. So tonight, we focus on financial resilience, and as we delve into more often now, AI, intelligence, the future of work, and we generate our income. Are we embracing this technology? Or are we running away from it? There is a poll question that I have going on LinkedIn. So, feel free to take advantage of that. Feel free to take the poll and take a quick look and tell you kind of where we are in terms of the question. We have a piece left, but essentially the question is, what are your thoughts? First response, potential response for you is caustic. I'm cautiously optimistic. Second is fully embraced it. Fully embraced it. Third, comments. So 52% of the respondents votes so far. We want you to make it 43 and beyond. 52% are cautiously optimistic. 43% have fully embraced it of the respondents. And then there were some comments. Brooke Miles said, I think it's a double-edged sword. It can help with many things safely and will only get better. But it can also make us lazy at times. I believe times I've pressed the easy button rather than think through for a minute. And Brian Woodson said, it's the new arms race. You good, everyone else does. Um, and then we had Arthur Johnson said, for seniors who are slowly losing memory, AI at least provides a thought, and a thought creates other thoughts to think and dream, but use whatever to help. But you are the final answer, not AI. Thank you. Coach Carrie Willis said, use it for some, not for others. I don't treat it, use it as a tool. Same as a hammer. So those are some of the responses. Feel free to make your comments here. If you're on LinkedIn, and we have a few folks on Martin will put their comment up. Feel free LinkedIn, even if you're joining us over the phone, make presence known on the phone. You can hit that Harold Christian on the line. So we look forward to a question. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the video that we shared on AI? What are your thoughts about the poll question? Are you cautiously optimistic? You want to have nothing to do with? Are you? What have you used AI for? Now I can tell you, just quickly, I put together an initiative. Hey, I had AI put it together, then had AI, create a press release associated with it. And someone picked up error. I actually did this thing, and there was still an error in one of the words. I get it together. But I'm joined tonight by one of Power Thinking members who has moved on to the Power Thinking Corp mobile app, has worked in HR for the city of Philadelphia, has been a director in human resources city of Philadelphia, all of their vast departments for 35 years. Now on her own, with her own company called GPS, personal and business strategies. And Harlo's been with us since 2018. And so I'm really excited to welcome Carla Hill, who give us her perspectives, given her vast experience in relations, now on the ground with her own company, dealing with individuals. So Carla, thank you for joining us here on the main stage.
My pleasure, Stan. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah,
This
so
is exciting. Yeah, this is exciting. It's an exciting topic, and it's just so many reactions, right? Just depending on who you're talking to.
yeah, I agree. We're going to get a couple of comments from folks on LinkedIn who does great work on mobile platforms. You get that picture of me. It does look a little. You have to see William. Like William and the glasses, kind of goggles, probably virtual reality. William, thank you for joining us. Leona Martin, one of our Power Thinking mobile app users. Good evening conversation tonight. We have Christy Williams, another one of our Power Thinking mobile app users from Florida, who's joining us as well. And then, of course, William Rochelle says, embrace it. We have to embrace it. You're going to get left behind. So, Carla, let's go to the phone lines and let's get Harold Christian. And by the way, I put out mistakenly on the app and then push notifications the wrong link initially, and then I corrected it. This time I put out join us on the stage here and on the platform, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna see who actually clicks this and see who's actually using the app and clicking on the notifications. And certainly Harold Christian he joined us here on the stage, and I said, okay, all right, I got a mega mobile app user. So we're going to go to Harold. He's with us on the phone lines. Anyone that starts about the video we shared with you, about your thoughts around AI in general. So Harold, thank you for joining us. Mention where you're joining us from. thoughts about AI?
Good afternoon, everyone, and Carla, and everybody else. This is Christian in Allen, Virginia. I'm the Chief Visionary Officer of Christian Minor Strategic Solutions. I'm very proud of that. I started my career when I was 19 years old, so I've definitely seen how business and technology has evolved. I use AI primarily for and post, but I also really used AI and didn't realize I was going to use it. I had bought my son something from the NFL shop, and then I decided I wanted to purchase something else. So when I called, they asked me if I wanted to. I said yes. They canceled the order and sent me the receipt, and I was like, in minutes. And as far as I have my consulting firm, but I also nationwide insurance company, and they're really big on training on AI. So I've been getting a lot of training on AI, and I think there's another term called generative AI, something along. But Stan, you're exactly right. AI is not 100% accurate. It absolutely is not. You definitely knowledge on this proofread, which has led me to get another skill set in AI. So I'm not going to be left behind. Stan, I started my first 19 years old, and it was a leap of faith. I'm coming from a college family. So I am going to master the compliance side now and write one ticket for it. And as far as with the video, I learned to embrace all of my emotions after my mother died. And it was because my son graduated with honors, was accepted to Howard, and then like 4 months later, or 5 months later, mother passed away. So I say I had the highest of highs and lowest of lows. And that's when I just learned all of my emotions. And it really does work. You accept your emotions, and then you decide what to do with them. With my emotions, I decided to learn from them. But great talking with you, Stan, and everybody. Have a good night.
Great having you, Harold. Appreciate it. And there was what you're missing out on, folks, if you don't have the app, is all of the material. Those of you who have been longtime members, we remember video each week before we have the discussion on Wednesday. We'll send it on Tuesday night. You're using the app in addition to getting those videos. Your videos almost on a daily basis. Today, we shared a video about emotion regulation, one of our inner strengths of resilience, and it featured Kobe Bryant talking about just in his videos are only about 60 seconds to minutes. So they're short. We understand folks have short attention spans now. We've all been trained to, not hang around for too long. So if we don't grab you, you're gone. But you're missing out on, additional material that we're sharing through the mobile app. Carla, what do you think about what and your thoughts about what we're seeing as we evolve quickly, into AI robotics?
I agree with what Harold was saying. He's looking at getting ahead of the curve. What he talked about was obviously, and you talked about Harold coming on a little bit earlier because, and I look at people's behaviors. He was the one that clicked on the link, and obviously he's into action and compliance to a certain degree. And I think of the quote that Wayne Gretzky, the great hockey player, talked about. And somebody asked him, well, what makes you a great, like, what do you attribute your secret to success? And he talked about, oh, I go to where the puck is going to be. And I think that's what everyone should really do in their respective careers. AI is a tool, and one of the things that I picked up with Harold is that the emotional regulation, like he's had to navigate deaths and highs and lows. The thing is, how what's the adverse impact? Like I've been through over 35 years firing people, different changes in technology. This is fundamentally so different because people are looking at, oh, the adverse condition, oh, this tool is going to come in and replace me. And that belief, you know, what am I going to do, and am I going to be obsolete? Now, are all those facts, right? So it's really thinking about and being on both sides, meaning an employer's representative for years, as well as individually career coaching with people. It's employers really just want people to be productive, right? And at the source of it, AI is a tool. And what in this past couple of in the past month, I've worked on 6 different projects with different people. I'm still working with a group of interns on a daily basis. And why I love working collaboratively with people is we see each other's different skill sets. Now, how I look at AI, I guess I look at it as a partner, as a collaborator in terms of sharing information. And you picked up, you said, oh, they gave me an error because they're not the end all be all. We are looking for that innovation so we could think faster, we can give that data. But if we really isolate and we don't reach out, then we will be gobbled up. But if we lean in, if we find out in our respective professions, how can we use that tool, whether it's ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, um, um, the Gemini, Claude, all of them have different things. But if we really think about it, I remember speaking with a person that says, "Oh, I don't use AI," and what we drilled down a bit on was that she was using it with her grandson in coming up with poetry, and that was fun for her, but she didn't really think of it as AI. And it was almost like a block in terms of I could use it for fun, but not for work. And if we think about other ways that AI has made and AI is just technology. I know I look at every Sunday, my map on my phone says, oh, you proactively, because I do it 80% of the time, or you're going to church and then you're going to go to your mom. They put the address. I could be in Los Angeles, but they put the address because they know, oh, they're just looking at prediction. They're predicting those behaviors. So I've seen people just shy away from it, saying, oh, it's going to be horrible. But what employers are really looking for is for you to partner with it and bring innovation, bring ideas. And what I've seen with working with students, college students, is they're conflicted. Quite honestly, you talked about this morning, Stanley, where universities are just coming out, and I understand it. I really understand all most of the sides that are dealing with here because we want to make sure people are learning the fundamentals before they're going and just making it pretty with using AI. And if we look at that, what I've seen people with seasoned when I'm using AI, because of the years of experience that I have, if I'm asking about problems and scenarios, my prompts are usually 8, 9 times I'm going back and forth because I'm like, that's not true, or think about this. But if you don't have the fundamentals, you do get hallucinations from the AI, and that's what they call them because you don't you really didn't have the breadth of experience to go deeper into what the problem is. So we need each other. We need someone that's a digital native, so to speak. Because the other thing that I see is when I'm working with a person that is a person that's a digital native, and if they're skilled in what we're talking about, they're much faster than I am, right? I might have to
Mhm.
be a little bit slow, but the thoughts or the quality because of the experience that I bring. So people that think, oh, I'm older, I'm just going to be obsolete. I think right now you have the edge until AI kind of gathers all the information from those middle managers and those directors of our scenarios, and they'll start putting those scenarios in the language models that come out faster. There's still a slight advantage with the people that are more seasoned. But if the people that are more seasoned won't use the tool, that's where you see the gaps. Sometimes people that have the technology, they're overconfident. They think, oh, it looks nice and pretty, but it's flawed. The quality is flawed. And then we have the people that have the experience, they're afraid to use the tool. So it really does come down to mindset and
Mhm.
stepping back and really limiting all the clutter, right?
Yeah.
But that self efficacy, the confidence that I have something to bring to the field and it's going to change. It's like right now, what I'm saying, one of the most valuable traits in terms of career optimization is that flexibility to really know where the puck is going in your perspective. I remember asking a, a woman that was a pipe fitter, is a pipe fitter, young person. And I said, and she's like, oh, I don't really need to use AI. Then I asked AI right in front of her, what type of what type of tools or what kind of things could AI help a pipe fitter on? And it was more like the job assignments and the cutting this. She said, "Oh, that's more for like my group leader." I said, "But is your next milestone to be a group leader or so?" That's what I was kind of sharing. It's the future. What's your future? It's that navigation. So seeing
Mhm.
where you are, and I just think AI, it just becomes like this just broad term, but what we really want in the workplace is for you to partner with whatever your area of specialization is and come with something supernatural, right? Come with
Sure.
innovation.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I
So,
see that's
so
happening.
how would one, you know, get started if they have anything with AI except complain? And look, there are times when I kind of wonder, where is this thing going? Are they going? Will they get? And it reminds me of a movie way 2001: A Space Odyssey. Groundbreaking science about the future, about space, and AI was of it because the computer, I believe the computer 2000 or so, was very and eventually it take over the spaceship and it actually the astronauts out of the spaceship. I think when the astronaut was on a space walk and had the kind of like a cord, for lack of a better word, connected to the ship, and and then Hal just pretty much cut the cord, and the astronaut was just floating into space, dying, and so there were, I think, two left, and they plotted find Hal, and they thought they couldn't talk out loud because Hal would hear them, so they moved in what they thought was this isolated booth, but the window was actually reading their lips and could tell what they were saying, and ultimately they defeated Hal. But unfortunately, far too many people, and there are times when I do it, I go, oh, don't want to. Maybe I'll be out of here before this thing really starts taking over the world, and we miss because of this anxiety, this fear of a future threat. This is a setback. Now we're kind of debilitated by this thinking that this is going to eventually not only take jobs maybe enslave the human race, come and mobilize and don't do anything. So what do you say to that? And how should folks, if they haven't done anything, take the first step? And before you answer, I want to acknowledge that we see Omar M. First of all, Charlie Lewis, who joined us, and he said family. And Charlie Lewis Jr. is one of our newest Power Thinking Plus or Power Thinking mobile app users, as is and has been some time, and as is up Annie as well, and Annie, where it's early in the morning in the UK, and Annie's real busy doing a lot of events. And Annie, thank you for stopping in as well. He said that part we can't afford to subcontract our creativity and innovation. Carla Hill. So speak about this overcoming that anxiety, that fear of this future threat, to just do something AI.
That's an excellent point. And you shared an article about Jamie Dimon, who is the head of JP Morgan, wrote a letter to his shareholders of how he sees it's optimism is one of the skills that you're teaching in our Power Thinking platform. And he sees it as a way to be more productive, where an individual, instead of the standard 5 days per week that we work, maybe it's 3.5 days, and because the efficiencies that come with that. And I think, to your point of really starting with taking a micro step instead of just being frozen, is if you use Google, and Google owns Gemini, which is a AI tool. I think that is a perfect way to just really get started. The difference between the linear Google, where you're like, oh, tell me where this place is. If what you could ask Gemini, and Gemini is an app, and really, if you have Google, they try to really point you to using Gemini. Now you can ask, tell me 3 different ways on how to get to that place. Or if I get to that place, what type of ratings? It's linear. Google is more linear, and AI is just more, it's modeled after how we kind of think. So whatever you put in there, you'll get better quality back. And I think once you get, everybody started somewhere. So if you see the results that you start getting, and if you do it with something that you're comfortable with, something that's a hobby that you have an intrinsic interest, and just see what comes back with it, because then you won't be as nervous, right? So I would really recommend practicing it with some type of, like, if you just were interested in biographies and you were interested in a person specifically, oh, I wondered what they did when they were age 5. I'm telling you, it's amazing what's going to come back with. And I think the people that are afraid of it really haven't used it, so you don't really know the benefits. So I think that is a good place to start. Now, if you're more of a person that uses the Microsoft Office suite, Microsoft Copilot, and I was never I've always gotten along well with technologists, right? Because I'm not a techie, so intrinsically I don't, but I realize the benefits of technology, and what allows me to use the apps and use other things is that, oh, they made it for me for the ease of use. They're not looking for coders. They're looking for users of the information. Now, there is, so, like, Harold talked about compliance. With any tool, there's dangers with certain tools also, of how much personal information you might be putting in there. So you have to be aware. So you're putting out scenarios, but the reason why the workplace wants you to use it, because it is more efficient. And if you think back people that are my age or older, how you used to drive, you would have to have like physical maps to be able to get someplace you've never been before. But think about the automation of knowing where you are. You don't even have to put in half the time where you are. They pick it up and then they tell you what route. And a lot of times you can say, oh, avoid tolls, avoid highways. All that is really just the technology making it easier. So again, it's nothing's 100%, but the concern is that people that are traditionally underrepresented will be left back. And imagine if you had to use a dial-up phone now or dial-up AOL. Like,
Right.
would that be something
Yeah.
that you want to do as opposed to Wi-Fi? So, and I know that there's movements where we shouldn't leave people behind. So just your immediate network of individuals, when you say how you can start having the conversation, oh, how do you use AI? And people will willingly
Yeah.
show you also, because that's the
Exactly.
concern. It's if you're not growing, you're declining. It's not, you can't say I'm staying the same. You're
And
really,
we'll
really
leave it
declining. So
right there.
that's
I mean, you're not growing. I mean, folks embrace this. Have the optimism. Reach out and use it. And what happens is this is part of the problem. We're so used to operating the way we operate, and we don't even think about yourself to use Gemini, ChatGPT, and some of these tools that you use. You'll find it does and the goal for you to stay ahead on top of this. Carla, as we wrap up now, let folks know how to get in touch with you.
Oh, great. For people in our Power Thinking community, you can just text me 215-802-0050. Again, 215-802-0050. Also on the internet, Carla with a K, carlahill.com. It leads you to all of my other websites, and of course on LinkedIn as well. So again, Carla with a K, Carla Hill. And Stanley, thank you just for your vision and creating the space. What I've realized with my own practice is that there's no absence of content or information. There's an absence of execution and implementation. So having intentional space to practice
Hmm.
the 14 skills that we talk about in Power Thinking, I can give them to you right now, but if you don't have an opportunity to apply those skills, you don't have the skills. It's just that simple. So thank you for your vision and this platform.
You, Carla, dedication to and commitment to what we're doing twice every Wednesday for about 90% of the time. You are with us, and I sincerely appreciate it. I want to get to Annie's comment from the UK there. I Chat GPT and other AI tools to create image designs. I haven't used it for image designs and generate videos. Create with graphic designer, video production. I've only used it for me, and I see images. And of course, one of the ones that went worldwide is certainly looking like he's a deity with his hand on someone, and so and now the next one is hugging him. So that's all AI rated. So there are folks that are using it. That's some great stuff, but use it for graphics. I will make it a point to that. So Carla, again, let's go back. Thank our folks who were on the phone lines and hung in there a little time, and we will say goodbye to at least a few of them. I see Claudia. Thank you, Claudia, for joining us. I see Wire Caller at 4. Sherry, Philadelphia Tribune. Sherry, I remember going way back. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Peterson, Janice Costo, Harold Christian, Calvin Patterson, was at the meeting with you last night, Winston-Salem Black Chamber of Commerce. Layla, well, counting us, and those who hadn't had a chance to call out. Appreciate you being with us. And remember, since we spend all of our time thinking, we must think with power. Power thinking. Make a great remainder of the week. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
On our platform, take care and take care, everyone. Omar M. and Charlie Lewis and Annie Osung. I appreciate you all being with us. Charlie Lewis, I mentioned Charlie Lewis Jr. and Christy Williams. Thank you all for doing well. Take care. Carla, again, much appreciated. We'll do time in the future.
Thank you, Stan. Take care.
Okay, Carla. Take care, and any way I can be of help, feel free to reach out anytime. Thank you for this time.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.